Most people collect rules for life like quotes on a wall. Sun Tzu would treat them like weapons, supplies, and battle plans. Let's see how he'd use Jordan Peterson's 12 rules as a full campaign, not just posters. Picture a manager with 12 motivational quotes pinned above their desk. Good posture. Be kind to yourself. Tell the truth. Pursue what is meaningful. They read them every morning. They feel inspired. But their week still dissolves into scattered tasks, unclear meetings, and shallow work. Now picture the same 12 lines treated as a strategy map. 3 layers: inner command, home base, and outer campaign. Each rule assigned to one layer. Each layer tied to specific actions and metrics for the next 14 days. Same sentences on paper, completely different reality. This shows a simple principle. Rules only work when they sit inside a plan. Sun Tzu called this laying plans before battle. Today, we call it building a life strategy instead of collecting slogans. Same principle. Connect principles to position, logistics, and timing before you move. Sun Tzu teaches that victory is decided before the first clash, in posture, preparation, and alignment. 12 life rules are useful only if they reinforce one coherent position: who commands you, how your base is run, and which battles you choose. Name this the Command Camp Campaign Map. Use it when you want to turn Peterson has 12 rules into a single strategy you can execute in real life. There are 3 layers. Command is your inner posture and self-respect. Camp is your home, close relationships, and discipline. Campaign is your work, risk, and engagement with the outside world. Now we'll walk through each of the 12 rules and how Sun Tzu would likely read them inside this map. Rule 1. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. Sun Tzu cared deeply about the spirit of the troops. Marching order, banners, drums, and formation all existed to keep morale high before contact. He would see this rule as your personal formation. Standing up straight is not vanity. It is a daily signal to your nervous system. I am the commander here. In strategic terms, this is visible morale. You present stability so your inner army does not scatter before the day begins. Rule 2. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. A general who neglects supplies, rest, and food harms his own troops before the enemy lifts a finger. Sun Tzu would translate this rule as logistics for the self. You are both commander and soldier. Treating yourself as someone in your care means sleep, nutrition, and recovery are not indulgence. They are maintenance of the force. Rule 4. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Ancient strategists compared terrain and force ratios, not vanity metrics. Sun Tzu would approve of tracking your own ground over time, not envying another army's position. This rule becomes internal intelligence. Measure today's posture against yesterday's, not against your neighbor's highlight reel. You ask, is my position 1% stronger than last week? Rule 7. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Sun Tzu distinguished between quick raids and decisive campaigns. He warned against long wars that drain energy without a clear objective. He would read this rule as choosing campaigns, not errands. Meaningful work is the hill worth taking. Expedient distractions are skirmishes that drain supplies and attention. Rule 8. Tell the truth, or at least do not lie. Deception for Sun Tzu was aimed at the enemy, never at your own side. Lying to yourself is like feeding your maps with false coordinates. This rule becomes internal clarity. Truth about your abilities, your effort, your results. A general who lies to their own reports walks their army into ambush. Rule 10. Be precise in your speech. Sun Tzu's orders were short, sharp, and easy to drill. When the words were unclear and the soldiers failed, he blamed the general, not the troops. Precision in speech is clean command language. You say exactly what will happen, who will do it, and by when. No fog, no vague instructions. Rule 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Sun Tzu understood the strain of long campaigns. He spoke about conserving energy and avoiding needless marshes. This rule is micro-recovery, tiny moments of stillness inside chaos. You acknowledge beauty or calm for 30 seconds, so that your force can keep moving for 30 days. All 7 of these belong to command, the way you treat yourself and set your internal tone. Rule 3. Make friends with people who want the best for you. Sun Tzu valued allies and disciplined officers. He knew that rotten commanders ruin an army faster than any enemy. This is a lie selection. You build a circle that sharpens your discipline rather than rewarding your worst habits. People who want the best for you are like neighboring states that prefer your strength to your collapse. Rule 5. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Sun Tzu wrote about strict, fair discipline. When princesses laughed at his commands, he punished their leaders and turned chaos into order. Applied to parenting and mentorship, this becomes training your camp. You set rules early, enforce them calmly, and build a home where respect and warmth coexist. Resentment signals a breakdown in discipline that must be repaired. Rule 6. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Before marching far, a wise general secures supply lines and fortifications. Sun Tzu would applaud this as base first, criticism later. The house is your routines, finances, habits, and relationships. You fix the leaks before you complain about the weather. Rule 9. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you do not. Sun Tzu relied on scouts and spies for foreknowledge. He rewarded information that reduced uncertainty. In the camp, this rule is intelligence humility. You treat colleagues, partners, and even critics as potential sources of terrain maps. You listen to update your model of reality, not to perform superiority. These 4 rules govern camp, the way you run your base and relationships. Rule 11. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding. Sun Tzu knew that soldiers need experience with risk before real danger appears. Training fields include controlled hardship and trial. He would see this rule as respect for training risk. You allow others, especially the young, to face challenge and minor danger, so they build competence and courage. Overprotection weakens future troops. Taken together, all 12 rules spread across command, camp, and campaign. Sun Tzu would dislike treating them as disconnected quotes. He would weld them into one structure: how you stand, how you care for and command yourself, how you discipline your home, how you choose allies, and how you engage with risk and meaning. Let's make this concrete with 2 scenarios for a working professional. First scenario: you lead a team of 8 in a company where priorities change every week. You feel pulled between pleasing upper management, supporting your team, and your own health. First, use command rules for 7 days. Every morning, 1 minute of posture check at your desk. 10 minutes reviewing yesterday's performance against your own goals. Pick one meaningful outcome for the day, not 10 tasks. Write it in precise language so your team understands it. Second, bring in camp rules. Schedule one honest conversation with a team member or peer about what best for each other looks like at work. Notice one behavior you are silently resenting and address it calmly but firmly. After 2 weeks, you can point to at least 4 decisions that were guided by meaning, not expedience, and your team can repeat your main priority for the week in 1 sentence. Second scenario: you're a specialist or analyst comparing yourself to higher-paid peers on LinkedIn. Endless social media scrolling leaves you feeling behind and exhausted. First, apply command rules. Delete one comparison trigger app from your phone for 7 days and track your mood. Replace that time with a 30-minute block of focused skill practice tied to your most meaningful long-term goal. Be brutally honest in a daily note about how you spent your time. Second, apply campaign and camp. Talk to one colleague or mentor as if they might know something you do not about the next step in your field. Let a younger colleague take on a stretch task without rescuing them immediately. After 3 weeks, you have at least 9 logged practice sessions, 2 new pieces of actionable advice, and a clear reduction in social comparison time. There are 3 common traps. First, treating the rules as slogans, not orders. Reading the rules without attaching actions, time blocks, or metrics turns them into decoration. Sun Tzu would insist each rule become a specific order for a specific day. Second, overcorrecting one layer and ignoring the others. Some people obsess over command, posture, self-talk, affirmations, but neglect camp and campaign. Others fix their house and friends, but never choose a meaningful hill. Balance matters. Third, using the rules to judge others before yourself. Set your house in perfect order loses its power when it becomes a weapon against coworkers or family. Apply each rule to your own conduct first, then to your influence. Here is your 14-day 12 rules strategy campaign in 4 steps. Days 1 to 3, 20 minutes per day. Map your command. Your success metric is written answers. List the 7 command rules: 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 10, and 12. For each, write 1 sentence. In my life, this becomes. For example, be precise in your speech. Send clear 1-paragraph briefs instead of vague messages. Days 4 to 6, 20 minutes per day. Secure your camp. Your success metric is concrete commitments. List the 4 camp rules: 3, 5, 6, and 9. Write 1 tiny behavior change for each. For example, make friends who want the best becomes reach out to 1 colleague who challenges me to grow. Days 7 and 8, 20 minutes per day. Define your campaign. Your success metric is 1 written, meaningful objective. Revisit Rule 7 and Rule 11. Pick 1 meaningful objective for the next 6 months and 1 area where you will stop overprotecting others. Write both clearly. Days 9 to 12, 30 minutes per day. Execute 3 micro-experiments. Your success metric is completion of 3 experiments. Choose 1 command experiment, 1 camp experiment, and 1 campaign experiment. Run each for 2 days. Log what happens. Days 13 and 14, 40 minutes total. Debrief and adjust. Your success metric is an updated plan for next month. Review your notes. Circle the 2 rules that changed your behavior the most. Decide how you will keep them active for the next 30 days with 1 recurring calendar block per rule. Sun Tzu taught that battles are won by alignment long before contact. These 12 rules become powerful when they sit inside your command, your camp, and your campaign. Your next 14 days will decide whether they stay on the wall or move into your calendar.